For several weeks now, royal watchers, ever vigilant and constantly tracking the activities of the royal family, have noticed something subtle yet significant: a conspicuous absence. Prince Louis, the youngest member of the royal family, has been noticeably absent from a series of high-profile public engagements. These are the kinds of events where in the past his presence would have been expected, moments that would typically see him dressed in his royal attire, a charming smile on his face, and his youthful energy capturing the attention of the public and the media alike. His animated expressions and innocent demeanor often bring a refreshing and endearing contrast to the formality of royal events. Yet this time there has been no dramatic announcement, no urgent public notices, just a quiet shift. This shift, while hardly earth-shattering, is a reminder of an often overlooked reality. Royal schedules are fluid, constantly evolving and subject to change, particularly when young children are involved, and sometimes those changes remain shrouded in silence. Prince Louis, born in April 2018, is still very young, not even in his formative school years. At such a tender age, he is not yet a full-time working royal. His public appearances are intentionally limited, carefully curated, and selectively chosen. These appearances are restricted to only the most significant national events, monumental occasions such as Trooping the Colour, the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, Christmas services, and other notable state occasions that carry immense cultural and national significance. Each of these events is an opportunity for the royal family to unite with the public, and Prince Louis, in his tender years, is allowed to be part of these historic moments, but always with care and consideration for his age. After all, these events are not just about tradition, but about a young boy's childhood remaining intact before he is called upon to bear the weight of royal responsibility. In the midst of all this, it's worth noting that, in this modern age of 24/7 news cycles and digital immediacy, even the smallest gap in a royal child's public schedule can be magnified beyond measure. The absence of a single public appearance, no matter how brief, can quickly spiral into rumors, online theories, and exaggerated speculations. But let's pause for a moment and clear the air. If you appreciate respectful, fact-based royal updates, free from sensationalism, speculation, and exaggeration, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Our mission is simple. We bring you only publicly verified information. We focus on presenting the facts grounded in reality and devoid of assumptions. Here you can count on accuracy, not hearsay. This approach is at the heart of our discussion today. Now back to the heart of the matter. In recent years, the royal family has made clear adjustments to the frequency and nature of public appearances for Prince William and Catherine's children. The Prince and Princess of Wales have consistently conveyed, both through their public statements and private actions, that their top priority is providing their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, with as normal, stable, and fulfilling a childhood as possible. This is something they have spoken about at length. They have been unwavering in their belief that their children should not be defined solely by their royal titles, but should experience the same joys, struggles, and freedoms as any other child growing up outside of the royal spotlight. When a child like Prince Louis doesn't attend a public event, a significant one no less, it's not an indication of a hidden family crisis or a sudden emergency that demands public attention. Rather, it's a deliberate, carefully considered decision, one that reflects the family's core values and priorities. These decisions are made by parents who are weighing the best interests of their child. They take into account many factors: the child's age, their temperament, the nature of the event, and whether the occasion is suitable for a young child still in the early stages of their development. It's crucial to remember that being part of the royal family is not like being a part of any ordinary family. Yet in many ways, the royals try to maintain that balance, raising their children as normal children, while also fulfilling their responsibilities to the nation. For example, Prince Louis has not attended every major national event, and this is not a new pattern. This decision mirrors the way royal children have traditionally been raised in the past. Take Prince William and Prince Harry, for instance. They too were shielded from attending certain public events during their early years. The reasoning was simple: to allow them to grow, to experience life as children before they were thrust into the full glare of public scrutiny and royal duty. This approach has been foundational in their upbringing, allowing them to navigate their royal responsibilities with a sense of normalcy, despite the constant public attention. It's also important to recognize that King Charles III, while deeply involved in the monarchy and in state matters, does not routinely comment on the daily presence or absence of his grandchildren at public events. Official communications from Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace are focused primarily on matters of state, constitutional duties, or in some cases, health updates regarding senior royals. There has been no statement, no public announcement indicating any crisis surrounding Prince Louis. On the contrary, when Prince Louis has made public appearances, whether it's at Trooping the Colour or during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, his energy and youthful exuberance have often stolen the show. His animated expressions, his unbridled enthusiasm, and the joy he brings to those around him have made his moments in the spotlight unforgettable. For many observers, this natural, youthful energy is a refreshing reminder of the royal family's human side. In a world where the royals are often seen as symbols of tradition and formality, the sight of Prince Louis being himself, carefree, joyful, and full of life, brings a touch of warmth and relatability to the royal family. His innocence and pure excitement offer stark contrast to the sometimes overwhelming expectations placed on those in the royal spotlight. And while some might speculate about the reasons for his absence from recent events, the truth remains that such decisions are made not out of any crisis, but simply out of a desire to protect a child's well-being and preserve his childhood. The royal family, particularly Prince William and Catherine, understand that being raised under the public eye brings its own unique challenges. Yet they are determined to raise their children with a sense of normalcy, ensuring that they have the opportunity to experience the world as young children, free from the pressures of royal duty. In making these decisions, Prince William and Catherine follow the long-standing tradition of protecting the privacy and well-being of their children, even if it means limiting their exposure to the public eye. Certainly, here's an even further expanded version, adding more detail, emotional depth, and exploring the broader themes of modern royal life, the complexities of parenting in the public eye, and the responsibility of maintaining a balance between privacy and public duty. For several weeks now, royal watchers, the passionate and ever-vigilant observers of the British monarchy, have been closely tracking a seemingly minor but nonetheless noteworthy absence. Prince Louis, the youngest member of the royal family, has been conspicuously missing from several key public engagements. These are events where in the past his presence would have been anticipated, his lively energy and infectious spirit a familiar and endearing sight for the media and the public alike. Whether attending Trooping the Colour or participating in the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, Prince Louis has always managed to capture the hearts of royal observers with his animated expressions and his innocent joy. His moments in the spotlight have often been marked by his playful antics and youthful exuberance, which serve as a contrast to the more formal, reserved atmosphere typically associated with royal events. Yet this time there has been no dramatic announcement, no urgent public statements to explain his absence. There has been no crisis or calamity proclaimed in the media. Instead, it's been a quiet shift, almost unremarkable at first glance, but a reminder of the often overlooked reality of royal life. Schedules, especially those involving children, are fluid, subject to change, and rarely set in stone. The demands of royal duties must always be balanced with the very real needs of family life, particularly when it comes to young children. The royal family, despite being constantly in the public eye, is still a family, one that requires time to nurture, grow, and develop away from the glare of media attention. Prince Louis, born in April 2018, is still very much in the early stages of his childhood. At this tender age, he is far from being a full-time working royal. His public appearances are carefully managed, intentionally limited to key national events, those occasions that hold immense cultural and national significance. These moments, Trooping the Colour, Platinum Jubilee celebrations, Christmas services, and other such high-profile state occasions, have been chosen with purpose. Each event is an opportunity to include Prince Louis in the grand tapestry of royal tradition, to connect him with the national spirit of celebration, yet also to keep his youthful innocence and childhood intact. However, we live in an age where every detail is scrutinized, and even the smallest gaps in a royal child's public schedule can snowball into online theories and unfounded speculations. The digital age, with its relentless speed of information, amplifies every detail. An absence, no matter how innocent, is often magnified and quickly turned into something much larger than it truly is. The pressure to explain every shift, every absence, is immense, and the royal family often finds itself caught between maintaining their privacy and appeasing a public that feels entitled to answers. Before we go further into this discussion, let me pause for a moment of transparency. If you value royal updates that are based in fact, free from sensational rumors or exaggerations, I encourage you to consider subscribing to this channel. Our goal is to provide you with accurate, verifiable information, to keep you well informed and clear of the noise that often surrounds royal affairs. Here, we focus on verified facts, not assumptions or speculations. That is the core of the conversation we are having today. Returning to the heart of the matter, in recent years, the royal family has made clear adjustments regarding how often Prince William and Catherine's children are seen in the public eye. Through interviews, media appearances, and actions, the Prince and Princess of Wales have made it abundantly clear that their primary concern is ensuring that their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, experience as normal and stable a childhood as possible. This is not a new priority. The couple has made this a guiding principle of their parenting style. They have openly stated that their children should not be defined solely by their royal titles, but should have the opportunity to experience life like any other child, free from the intense scrutiny that comes with being a member of the royal family. This decision is rooted in a deep desire to protect their children's emotional well-being, allowing them the freedom to grow up without the weight of public life overshadowing their formative years. When Prince Louis doesn't attend a public event, especially a major one, it's not a reflection of a sudden crisis or a cause for alarm. Rather, it is a reflection of a thoughtful, careful decision made by his parents. This decision is driven by practicality and the desire to protect him from the pressures of royal life. These considerations take into account many aspects: the child's age, the nature of the event, the duration, and whether it is the right time for him to be present. For example, Prince Louis has not attended every major national event, a decision that aligns with how previous generations of royal children were raised. Prince William and Prince Harry, for instance, were also shielded from attending certain public events during their early years. The reasoning behind this approach was simple: to allow them to grow up without being thrust too quickly into the royal spotlight. Prince William and Catherine are following in the same vein, carefully shielding their children from the demands of public life, especially while they are still so young. It's also important to understand that King Charles III, despite his deep involvement in matters of state and his role as the sovereign, does not typically comment on the daily comings and goings of his grandchildren at public events. Official communications from Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace are typically focused on matters of state, constitutional duties, important announcements, and health updates related to senior royals. When it comes to the royal children, there is rarely, if ever, an official statement that explains why they have or have not attended a particular event. In fact, there has been no statement suggesting that Prince Louis's absence is in any way related to a crisis. On the contrary, when he has made public appearances, he has often captured the spotlight, drawing attention for his infectious energy, animated expressions, and youthful exuberance. Whether it's at Trooping the Colour or the Platinum Jubilee, Prince Louis's presence has been a joy to witness. His moments in the spotlight have been a breath of fresh air, offering a glimpse into the future of the monarchy, one that still holds onto the innocence and joy of childhood, even as it moves forward with the weight of royal responsibility. Royal historians and experts have long emphasized that children born into the royal family are introduced to public life gradually. There is no formal mandate that they must appear at every event, and there is no rigid schedule that requires their constant attendance at public functions. The royal family understands that a child's emotional and psychological well-being must come first. The goal is to balance their growing responsibilities with the protection of their mental health. Prince William, in particular, has been vocal about the importance of supporting mental health and encouraging open conversations about emotional well-being. His initiative, Heads Together, which he co-founded with Catherine and Prince Harry, reflects this strong commitment to mental health advocacy. However, it's essential to remember that advocating for mental health does not automatically suggest that there is a crisis within the royal family. Public advocacy for mental well-being is a broader initiative, one aimed at reducing stigma and fostering open conversations, not necessarily tied to a personal situation unless confirmed publicly. And so, when it comes to Prince Louis's absence from public events, it's not an indication of illness or distress. It is rather an example of the careful, considerate decisions made by his parents, who continue to prioritize their children's privacy and well-being above the demands of royal appearances. They have made it clear time and again that their primary goal is to allow their children to grow up free from the burden of public expectations, giving them the chance to enjoy a childhood free of undue pressure. In today's world, where social media can amplify even the smallest details, speculation can spiral out of control. The absence of a royal child from a public event can quickly transform into a frenzy of online theories and interpretations, some grounded in reality, others wildly imaginative. But it's vital to recognize that absence doesn't always signal a crisis. More often than not, it simply reflects decisions being made behind closed doors, decisions with no intention of causing alarm, but inevitably sparking public curiosity. Which brings us to a broader and more pressing question: how does a modern monarchy balance the demand for transparency with the need for privacy, especially when it comes to children? The media landscape today is drastically different from what it was during Princess Diana's time. The public's expectations for openness are higher, and the speed at which information spreads fueled by social media has intensified. Silence in the digital age is often seen as secrecy. What the public may interpret as a lack of transparency is, in fact, a deliberate decision to maintain discretion. It is the royal family's way of protecting their children from unnecessary exposure and safeguarding their emotional well-being in the face of relentless public scrutiny. In this era of digital immediacy, every absence is analyzed, every shift in schedule scrutinized, and every decision questioned. But for Prince Louis, as for any child, his well-being must always come first. The royal family has always had to walk the delicate line between their duty to the public and their duty to protect their family. It's a challenge that has only become more pronounced as the world changes, but one that they continue to navigate with care, prioritizing their children's growth, stability, and emotional health over the demands of the public eye. What is crucial to understand in this situation is that speculation, though rampant, must always be carefully distinguished from verified public information. There has been no official statement indicating that Prince Louis has suffered from any medical emergency or is undergoing any secret treatment. If there were ever a serious health concern involving a member of the royal family, particularly a child, it would most certainly be communicated in a clear and direct manner. This is consistent with how King Charles and Catherine have handled their own health matters, openly addressing such concerns with the public when necessary. But as of now, no such statement has been issued concerning Prince Louis. The protective approach that Prince William and Catherine have adopted when it comes to raising their children is abundantly clear. They intentionally limit press access, carefully manage how their children's photographs are shared, and avoid unnecessary public commentary on private family matters. This approach to parenting reflects a modern mindset, one deeply rooted in ensuring emotional well-being for their children. It also reflects the lessons learned from the past, especially from the challenges faced by their parents during Princess Diana's time. The media intrusion and public scrutiny that Princess Diana experienced shaped much of how Prince William and Catherine now choose to raise their own children. They are committed to providing a safe, loving, and protected childhood for Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, free from the pressures of royal life as much as possible. Importantly, there is no verified evidence suggesting any form of internal conflict within the royal family regarding Prince Louis's public appearances. As with any family, the royal family may experience differences in communication styles and priorities. However, these differences do not necessarily signal deeper conflict. Specific claims of confrontations or media manipulation remain unverified unless confirmed by reliable, reputable sources. The narrative that the royal family is at odds with itself often arises from the media's need for stories, but these claims rarely stand up to scrutiny without official confirmation. When examining royal dynamics, it's important to consider context. Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace, the two central royal households, operate with structured communications teams that carefully plan public statements, media access, and press releases, particularly when minors are involved. These communications teams adhere to strict guidelines regarding how royal children are reported on, and these guidelines are generally respected by the media. Boundaries are firmly upheld when it comes to reporting on a child's schooling, health, or private family moments. Such boundaries are not only respected out of tradition, but also to ensure that the emotional and developmental needs of the children are prioritized. However, in the digital age, where information spreads at lightning speed, silence often invites curiosity. The absence of details can sometimes be misinterpreted as concealment. This is particularly true when it comes to royal children who are constantly under public scrutiny, but it's important to keep in mind that silence does not necessarily equate to secrecy. More often, it is the royal family's way of protecting the privacy of their youngest members, offering them the space to grow up free from the pressure of public expectations. In many cases, this silence is intentional and rooted in their commitment to safeguarding the children's well-being. So how does a modern monarchy navigate the delicate balance between protecting their children's privacy and maintaining accountability to a public that demands transparency? Prince Louis, as the youngest child of Prince William and Catherine, occupies a visible place in the line of succession to the British throne. But at this stage, he is not a working royal. His role for now is simply to grow up, surrounded by love, care, and as much normalcy as his extraordinary life will allow. The royal family understands that, as a child, he deserves to have the space to develop and experience the world without being thrust into the limelight before he is ready. Historically, royal children's public exposure has been gradual, with their early appearances kept to a minimum and their roles expanding as they grow older. When the public notices absences or changes in the royal children's appearances, it is often simply a reflection of their developmental stages. It's an acknowledgement that, just like any child, they need space to grow, evolve, and change in their own time, without being forced into the public eye at every stage. The royal family understands this dynamic intimately. They know the importance of allowing their children to grow in a nurturing, protective environment, away from the intense pressures of public life that come with their royal status. And above all, they recognize the need to strike a delicate balance between fulfilling their public duties and safeguarding their private family life. In today's world, the pressure to maintain this balance has never been more pronounced. The public increasingly expects transparency from the royal family, often scrutinizing every absence or change in routine. But parents like Prince William and Catherine are fully aware of the need to protect their children's emotional and mental health, even as the world looks to them for answers. Their top priority is always their children's well-being, their mental health, their happiness, their growth, and these elements will always take precedence over the expectations of the public or the demands of royal duty. This protective instinct is not just about keeping their children out of the media spotlight. It is about ensuring that they are given the time and space they need to grow up free from the pressures of public life. Prince Louis, Prince George, and Princess Charlotte may one day take on more visible roles within the monarchy, but for now, their parents are committed to providing them with as much normalcy as possible. This approach, while sometimes misunderstood, reflects a deeper understanding of the complexities of growing up under the royal spotlight and a desire to ensure that their children can enjoy their childhood in peace.